The Halloween Stranger location, suburban Oregon, 2014. A woman named Jennifer was handing out candy to trick-or-treaters when a man dressed in an old clown costume showed up at her door. At first, she thought it was just another prankster, but he didn't ask for candy. Instead, he just stood silently with a tilted head, as if waiting for something. She asked him to leave, but the man didn't budge. Jennifer shut the door, unnerved. Later that night, she heard faint tapping on her windows, just light enough to make her doubt herself. She told herself it was nothing, but the tapping returned, louder. Then came the doorbell, over and over, with no one visible through the peephole. When she called the police, they found footprints in her garden beds and a single red balloon tied to her back gate. A neighbor's camera footage revealed the man had been waiting in her backyard for hours, peeking through windows, hoping to catch her alone. Though the man was never found, Jennifer swore she could still hear faint tapping on windows for weeks afterward. The haunted corn maze incident. Location: Iowa, 2018. A local farm advertised a haunted corn maze for Halloween, claiming it was so scary you won't make it out. But on one fateful night, things went terribly wrong. A group of friends entered the maze together, but noticed a peculiar man among the costumed actors. Unlike the others, this man wore no mask, his face pale, lips slightly parted, and eyes wide as if in shock. They assumed he was part of the act. Midway through the maze, they noticed the same man following them at a distance. Whenever they stopped, he stopped. Thinking it was a hired actor, they laughed it off. Until one friend noticed the man carrying something. It was a knife. The group ran for their lives, pushing through the corn, screaming for help. After what felt like hours, they found the exit and reported the strange man to the staff. When police arrived, they discovered that he wasn't part of the hired crew. Security footage showed him sneaking into the maze before it opened. To this day, no one knows what his true intentions were, or how long he had been waiting. The disappearing trick-or-treater. Location: rural Pennsylvania, 2009. A couple, the Thompsons, were enjoying Halloween night in their small-town neighborhood, handing out candy to the few kids that stopped by. Near the end of the night, a boy in a skeleton costume knocked on the door, alone. His mask looked old, almost antique, and his candy bucket was unusually large. The Thompsons found it odd that the boy wasn't with any other kids or parents. After giving him some candy, the boy asked, "Can I come inside? I'm cold." Creeped out, the Thompsons politely declined. The boy stared at them, silent, for what felt like a minute before walking away. Later that night, as they were about to go to bed, they heard a noise by the front door. When they looked through the peephole, the boy in the skeleton costume stood there, unmoving. He held his candy bucket toward the door again, silently waiting. The Thompsons turned off the lights, pretending they weren't home, but the boy wouldn't leave. They finally called the police, but by the time officers arrived, the boy had vanished. Neighbors claimed they saw no boy fitting that description the entire night. Months later, the Thompsons found an old news article about a boy in a skeleton costume who had gone missing in their town 50 years earlier.